Hey everyone, today we are playing Copper Rock Golf Course in Hurricane, Utah, which is just north of St. George. This is actually one of the newest golf courses in the entire state, yet it's already definitely a top 5 place that you can play in the state of Utah. They've already been hosting the Epson Tour each year for the Copper Rock Championship, which is on the road to the LPGA Tour. So a lot of the players that you're going to see as future stars on the LPGA Tour will have played in the Copper Rock Championship. So we'll get right into the golf. This is about a 6,800 yard course from the tips. Not an extremely long golf course, but the wind and then fast greens can really make this course difficult. Hole number 1 at Copper Rock is an uphill par 5, and nothing extremely difficult about this hole except your second shot can be a little bit tricky depending on where the flag is at. At the top of the hill, right in front of the green, there's a bunker that's actually elevated higher than the green level. So just be careful on that second shot. Make sure not to hit that short bunker, and it should be a decently good birdie chance for you. Even though I hit this one in the bunker, it still leaves you only a 5-iron in, only just over 200 yards to get to the green here. This was a decent bunker shot. Contact was fine, but it started hooking on me, and really, you got to be careful of the wind out here. I mean, if you get caught up in the wind, it will sail on you, and if the wind's right at you, it will knock your ball down real quick. So club selection is crucial when you're playing in the wind out here. I've got a little bit of a tough chip here coming back over the green, and this green you really got to watch out for because there's a lot of breaks in this green, and depending on where the flag is, it completely changes the type of putt that you need to hit and where you need to place that second or third shot. So I hit a little 50-degree wedge here, just kind of trying to bump it up the hill and keep it close. It did kind of kick out to the right on me, and so I'm going to have about a 25 to 30 foot putt back up the hill for my birdie. How about that start to the day? Didn't really have much of a look at birdie the entire hole, but made a nice long putt, and I will show you kind of the sped up motion here and kind of showing you a little bit of how I run my cameras throughout the day. A lot of it is just kind of running back and forth, setting the camera up behind the golf ball on the greens, getting a quick little read, and just hitting the putt. So even though I've got cameras all over the place, I'm still trying to play these rounds in about 2.5 or definitely under 3 hours. I've had a couple rounds where I'm filming that take a little bit longer, just depending on if I'm waiting or not, but still able to play a pretty darn quick round even though I've got all the camera work going on. The second hole was very deceiving to me the first time I played it. The green looked a lot closer than it actually was off the tee box, but as of now I've kind of learned that you just got to aim at those bunkers that you see right off the tee box. Keep it short of those, and you're usually going to have well under 150 yards in for your second shot. This is exactly what the wind will do to some golf balls out here. I hit a stinger shot that really just started ballooning up in the air at me. So still stayed short of the bunkers, and I'm still in a perfect position for my second shot. So I've just got a 50-degree here, and you know, when I'm out here filming, this shot here is a perfect example of why I love driving up to the greens and putting that second camera up here, as you'll see, because when I hit a good shot, it's kind of fun to have that on camera. Alright, birdie start. Nice to have a couple back-to-back birds right off the bat. But I will say, if there's one negative thing for me to say about Copper Rock Golf Course, hole number 3 is it. I'm just not a very big fan of hole number 3. I think it doesn't match up well with the rest of the golf course. I'm okay with the fact that it's only a 300-yard par 4. I do think they could put this back another 40 to 50 yards behind this tee box. However, I would love to see them take out this green and completely redo the green. It's a very small green. It's actually only about half the size as the second smallest green on the golf course. And the breaks in it's just random. Doesn't really have any rhyme or reason to any of the breaks in there. And you can see here they've added all this really thick rough, which of course my ball had to land in today. They've added all this thick rough left of the green, maybe just to protect the hole or protect even that 4th tee box that a lot of people hit over to. So I just had to chunk that shot out of that thick rough, and I sailed a little bit over the green here, but this putt will show you just how much this green breaks. It's big time back to front, but there's a lot of little tiny hills within the green that sometimes they just don't make sense. There's no really rhyme or reason to where these little hills are throughout the green. So I would still love to see them completely change this green, tear it out, put a nice big green in there to match the rest of the golf course. Hole number 4 is a really good par 3 that the pin location is everything. If you've got a left flag location, it's really not that difficult to get it pretty close to the hole. Just use that slope and let the slope on the right side of the green take it down. Today we have a right pin location, and it's actually back right, which in my opinion is by far the most difficult pin location on this hole. And I did exactly what you cannot do. You really want to play this to the left of the hole and just have that nice uphill putt, but I pushed it right, and I actually pushed it all the way into the bunker. So this bunker shot is much more difficult than it looks here. If you go beyond this hole, it will actually roll all the way back down to the left portion of the green, which is going to leave you another 30 feet beyond this pin location. So this is one of my best short game shots of the entire day. I was able to keep it to the right of the pin, and I was able to stop it before it got to the hill that brought it all the way down. So good bunker shot here, but you're still about to see on this putt exactly how much this breaks.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So I know that was a terrible putt, but just be careful when you're out here to see how much some of these putts actually break. You got to make sure to play enough break, otherwise it will be a long day for you, especially if the greens are quick. The 5th hole is an uphill par 5 that, again, the flag location determines everything. If it's a front flag location like it is today, it's very reachable, and 2, if it's a back pin location, it's almost a terrible decision to even try to go for it in 2. It's one of the longest greens that you're ever going to see. I'm not certain exactly how far it is, but it's got to be about 65 to 75 yards from the front to back. I'm not exactly certain the exact distance though. So off this tee box, if you're a long hitter, I would either aim at the left bunker that you see off the tee or just those 3 bunkers to the right. I hit this a little bit further right than I really wanted to, but again, it's pretty wide open, so I've still got a decent shot out of the rough here with the 3-iron. So I take quite a bit off of this 3-iron, just hitting my little cut into the wind there. Comes up just short of the green, and this chip shot is cool, just a little 9-iron, but really what's amazing is this green. So in this camera angle, you can actually only see about a third of the green, if that. I know even from here it looks like a pretty big green, but wait until you see this next camera angle of me putting. With that said, this chip almost goes in and just rolls just past the hole. So now behind me here, you can actually see the second part of the green, and behind that there's actually another portion of the green that you still can't see. So again, it really just depends on where the flag is here. If the pin is all the way back, you're gonna have to be really careful on your approach. Make sure to not be right or left of that location. Make sure you stay just right on line with it. Otherwise, it's a really difficult chip shot to keep it on the green from either side of the green. Hole number 6 is a relatively short par 4, and if you're not going to go for the green, then I would just hit a 6 iron, maybe even less than that, right at those bunkers out into the middle of the fairway. So I am going to go for the green. It's pretty drivable for me from here, but the problem really is not off the tee. I'm not worried about that water whatsoever, but the green is extremely difficult here, and especially where the flag is today. So we've got this flag right in the middle of the green, and middle of the green always sounds good, but there is a huge hill right in the middle of the green. So you've got to make sure that your second shot in, you stay below this hole location. That was a pretty terrible chip, just flew it way past the flag. A little worried about that bunker short, but again, I'm above the hole here, so look how much this breaks. And the greens weren't even as fast as they can get today, so this is a huge breaker, and if you're above that hole, it's going to be a really tough putt. So now I've still got another 6 to 7 feet just to make my par. So number 7 is yet another hole where the pin location is everything. And today we probably have, again, one of the toughest pins on the hole. We've got this back right location, which is really tough because it's got a little bit of this desert ridge that goes in front of the hole. So it's hard to really go at this pin. Now, I did pull this shot a little bit to the left, but it's not even so much of a pull and more of just a security shot. So I hit a 7 iron here, and normally I'm only going to hit a 7 iron about 185. But because we've got the wind at the back here, I hit this because I really just didn't want to go long. Yet, as you'll see here, I still hit the green and bounced all the way over with that wind. Alright, my short game is starting to falter here, so I've got all the way back up to 1 over par after birdieing those first 2 holes. Now, number 8 is a fun hole, and really it's another wide open hole as long as you don't go right. You can take this ball quite a bit to the left and really just hit a big power shot right off of that left bunker. However, for the most part, as long as you're not right, you're going to have a really pretty safe and easy shot into the green. On the second shot into this green, just make sure to take enough club. Usually plays 1 club extra. However, the wind is at my back here, so I still just hit the 62 degree. And as you'll see, even the 62 degree ended up flying that pin by quite a bit.
Not today, sir.
Number 9 and 18 actually share a green, and there's a bunker right in the middle of the green here. I've never actually been in that bunker. However, it would be kind of cool to be hitting out of the bunker, which is in the middle of the green. It's a huge green, so you never really run into any type of interference from anybody on the next hole, but you want to make sure to play down as far left as you really need to on this hole. You can go all the way into the 8th fairway, but I like to just take it over right over that bunker that you see in the middle. And once again, on the second shot playing up the hill, make sure to take enough club. If you're going to be hitting about a 110-yard shot, I'd probably play this more like 116 to 117 up that hill. Alright, not a terrible front 9, but after those first 2 birdies, I was hoping to be a little bit closer to par or under par. So 3 bogeys and 2 over par on the par 3s alone. So scrambling percentage today is not doing so hot thus far, but I really think I just need to continue on getting my balls below the hole, because being above the hole out here is rough. So as we start off the back 9, you start off with 2 really good par 4s. This first par 4 is down the hill on the tee box here, and you've got to be careful of these 2 bunkers, because each of these bunkers have little fingers that if you get into them, you really are just going to have to chip out. They're tough bunkers to hit out of if you get in the wrong spot. So I actually just like to hit a big cut driver here to get in between the 2 bunkers. If you're not going to do this, then I would just make sure to either hit a long iron or a short wood to stay short of that left bunker. Now I've got this middle pin location today, which is a pretty easy location to hit into. If you do have a back pin location, I really don't have any advice. That's about the most impossible pin location you're ever going to see, and I don't even know if you can have a legal pin location back there yet. I have seen it a few times. Hole number 11 is another really good par 4, and I would not hit this tee shot more than about 275. There's no use going over the water here, and a lot of the times there's no way to carry it anyways, so I just hit a long iron. But on this hole, I really want you to look over to the right and see these huge houses that are over there. Now, most of these are all nightly rentals, and they range anywhere from the low 1 millions all the way up into the high 2 millions. And they're all luxury rentals, and most of these are renting out for very, very high prices every night. So if you actually like to buy one of these or have interest in being a nightly rental homeowner, I'm going to put a link in this description of all the nightly rentals that are currently available. So click that link and then call me first if you are looking to invest into a vacation rental property.
An idiot sandwich.
Hole number 12 is an uphill par 5, and it's only 491, but this will play quite a bit longer than that. A lot of times you're actually going to have the wind pretty much right at you on this hole as well. So just make sure you avoid the left side. There is a creek that runs all the way down the left side of this hole, so I like to hit it just out towards those bunkers in the middle of the fairway. On the second shot, make sure to take extra club. I probably could have hit a 7-iron here. I went with the 8-iron and I struck it actually pretty well. It's just going a little bit right of the flag, but I got a really unlucky break. I landed just short, and instead of it rolling back down into the bunker here, you can see my reaction is a little bit nervous because I can see that I'm going to have a horrible lie up here near the green. So this shot was pretty much just getting it out, just trying to get it somewhere up on the green. A really difficult shot. Staying out of the bunker would have been a lot easier if it would have just rolled all the way back down in. Number 13 is probably the only hole that people come up to the first time and scratch their heads a little bit, wondering what the heck they're supposed to do. So my recommendation is hit a long iron and keep it just right of the bunker that you see out in the middle of the fairway. You don't want to go left of that, and then hitting a driver sometimes is actually a more difficult approach shot because you're down in this big gully, which you're hitting up the hill at the green. So I just hit my 1-iron out there. I hit it really easy, probably only hit this about 260 yards, but it's going to leave me right in the middle of the fairway downhill to this really unique green that's much bigger than it looks from here, and this does play significantly down the hill, so 197 yards, and this is pretty much a chip shot 7-iron. You'll notice that I barely swing this club at all. Make sure to land your iron shot short of this green or short of your pin because it will all release towards the back. And I know it doesn't look that big on camera, but this green is also huge. Whether it's a front pin location or a back pin location, you're going to have a lot of release on your golf ball here with your second shot in. Hole number 14 is a scenic little par 4 that is really not that difficult other than the green. You got to make sure to just put your first shot in the middle of the fairway, which is not too hard to do. It's a pretty open fairway, but then be sure to stay below the hole. Now, you can't be short of the green on that second shot. If you're short of the green, it might roll all the way back down to you, but stay below the hole wherever that pin location is because it's a significant back to front breaking green on this hole. So I of course took too much club, and now I have an extremely difficult downhill putt. This is a very fast putt, and anywhere you are on this green, if you're beyond the hole location, it will be a very, very tricky putt down the hill. I actually hit a great putt here. I barely tapped this thing, but it was the right speed, so a nice little tap in par here on the 14th. Hole number 15 is another hole that you really just got to make sure to stay below the pin location. Sometimes you can actually spin it quite a bit off of that back part of the green and spin it all the way back down towards the front. I've got this pin location today that's kind of middle back, and really the further back the pin location is, the harder it is to get back there because it does like to spin back down the hill. I unfortunately kind of got my ball up in the air, the wind started taking it to the left. I ended up in that bunker just left of the green, and you'll see here on my bunker shot just how significantly this green breaks from the back to the front. Now, number 16 can be a very difficult tee shot. In my opinion, it took me probably 4 to 5 times playing this course before I kind of figured out where to hit it. Now, you'll see a bunker to the left when you're hitting this tee shot, and even being just right of that bunker is too far left most of the time. So as you can see here, I hit it just to the right of that bunker. I thought I hit it pretty darn good, but I still probably could have been another 15 yards to the right of that. And you'll see here, even that shot rolled all the way down nearly into the desert here, so I'm still hitting out of dirt. And now, luckily, it does shorten up the hole being further to the left, but you would much rather be in the fairway and have about 250 in than having 230 out of the desert here. Number 17 is probably the signature hole at this golf course. It's a straight downhill par 3, and the yardage can play many different yardages depending on the wind. Today, it's actually kind of calmed down by the time I've gotten here, so 124 yards. This probably plays more like 110 down the hill. But again, this is just kind of a little punch 50 degree, and this shot actually almost goes in the hole, as you'll see right here. So just needed a little bit different spin there. It spun to the left. If it would have bounced straight, probably could have had a chance at looking into the hole. Now, I'll do a little bit of foreshadowing here and tell you my shot on number 18 probably had a better chance of going in than this one even did. All right, number 18 here at Copper Rock. This is not the 18th hole during the championship. However, this plays as a wonderful closing hole. You just got to avoid that water to the left. I like to actually start my golf ball pretty much right at the water and just let it hit my cut right over to the right side and in the middle of the fairway. So from the fairway, it's really not that difficult of a shot. And if you use that hill to the right of the green, everything will slope down towards the pin. So like I said on that last hole, this shot had a really good chance of going in. It hit just right of the flag and then started spinning down towards that hole. and I'll show you a little bit different angle here of where it hit compared to where it ended up. So it just rolled right past this pin location and gave myself a nice little short birdie putt. So use that hill to the right of the green, and usually you're going to end up really close to really whatever hole location it has out here. All right, finished the round with 3 straight birdies, and I started the round with 2 straight birdies. So good start, good finish. Everything in between wasn't that great. So 5 bogeys, 5 birdies today. Still, now this is my 3rd round of golf on this YouTube channel, and still no double bogeys. So just got to get these par 3s under control, and today my scrambling percentage was not great. But so far, 12 bogeys, 13 birdies, for a total of 1 under par in my 3 YouTube videos that I've filmed. We've got another one coming up next Sunday, so we'll see you then.